Welcome back, folks, for another Ratchet Clank Full Frontal Assault commentary, tips, and strategies. Today I'm going over the Grummlenet Plasma Harvester again. This match was actually pretty interesting, and it's got some good things that I think you guys can pick up on. So we went over this last time as far as which nodes to capture, and 5, 6, 7 obviously are the key nodes to get right out of the start of the match. And you'll notice here that I don't have any competition once I capture this. He actually doesn't go for the node on the other side. Instead, he goes for node 4, which is it's a fine strategy. It's not bad, but ultimately I think it's still a little disadvantageous, and I kind of wanted to illustrate that just as opposed to going for these nodes here, so you guys don't see one perspective, but you can see both. So these guys are pretty easy to take care of. 3 shots with a cryo shot and they go down earlier. You saw me grab those bolts at the base of 7 earlier. I think actually that's 5, sorry. But the reason that I do that is because it kind of gives me a head start to get that really quickly. And then at the same time I'm going to do the same thing after I capture this one. I'm also going to go after that little stack of bolts because it's going to give me enough to where I can get shields on all 3 of these nodes without having to worry about waiting for those nodes those bolts to accrue from the nodes that I have. So I restock up on ammo, get a few bolts, and then I drop a shield over here on this node to make sure that it's protected. Ideally, it's just keeping him away and slowing him down. I don't want him getting it. So you see, he's already got 4, 1, and 3. While that's fine, he's got 4 very far away, so I know there's no chance for him to put a shield here. So I can just dispatch these guys and drop a doppelbanger. And that makes it a very simple capture for me. And from here there's a path that goes straight to 1. So while he's capturing 3 and then has to worry about my shields, I will have already gotten this and gone up to 1 to capture 1 by the time he's made his way to wherever he's going. So that's going to put me up pretty much 2 to 1. And he also plays a little risky, so he's really low on health, I see. So he's going around, and I kind of get lucky. He could keep it 3-4, which would go to his advantage, but he doesn't. So what I do right there is I check to make sure he's not around me, and he's not. Drop a doppelbanger or 2 to keep them busy. And at this point, I hear that he dies pretty soon, which is weird. I guess he's just low on health. He's playing really risky, and he's getting very close to the shields, which isn't necessarily a good play to make. You never want to die just because it's going to give me a little bit of an advantage. Unfortunately, in a second here, I wipe that advantage out. So I clean that node off, and I know that he's over by 4 because I can hear him. So I rush over there. I'm going to challenge him, and I see he's got pretty high health, so I decide to leave, and oh, I missed the boost jump. So I plummet to my death. Nothing I can do about it, so any advantage I got earlier on bolts, I give it right back to him. So good on me. Try not to do that. Don't miss boost pads, don't miss jump pads, or any of that stuff. So I do the usual staple here, and I buy some things. I have to wait a second so I can buy those shields. Make a little bit of profit here, so that way I can buy the electro shields without a whole lot of concern. So, and I covered this before, but the net profit on those, you're looking at about 500 bolts, and then if you do the full Warmongers plus the build pads, you're going to net yourself about 900 bolts total, which, I mean, it's a fairly good amount of bolts. It's going to buy you some defenses, and if nothing else, it'll be able to get you an ammo upgrade or something similar. So make sure all my ammo and health is full. I go buy an ammo upgrade. I want to get it early game just to make sure that I have enough doppelbangers and thunder smacks to be able to go around and break down these defenses really quickly. So I go over here to 3. I know that 2 is already clean, so the faster that I clean this, the better it is for me, because I'll be able to immediately rush over, get 2, get 3, and that way anything he's cleaned up or has any advantage, it's not going to be very meaningful in the grand picture here. So on that one, obviously I can wait and I can get the bonus because it's right at the end, but you'll see me a lot of times just skip the bonus, and most of that is just because it's going to be more worth it for me to just get the nodes faster to ensure that I have a higher number of nodes as opposed to getting the minor bonus from the minigame. Obviously, the longer you hold nodes, the more bolts you're going to get over time. And I'll do a video later kind of detailing the different amounts of bolts you get for different numbers of nodes and how much each kill, like bot and things like that, are worth. So I get those bolts just because they're there, they're on the way. It's not a huge diversion from time, so I can afford to get them. So I drop that out. That's going to take care of the little Grungarian trooper right there, and then I'm kind of out of the way of fire here. So kill these guys really quickly, get the good cap. I see him coming over the edge. I wait for it because I know he just captures 5, so there's no reason for me to get greedy and take extra damage. So I come over here, and I know that I can kind of kill these guys, and he almost hits me with that, so I turn and see he's really low on health. So the ideal play here is going to be to close the gap as quickly as I can and use the Sonic Eruptor, which is kind of like a big large area weapon, and it's really close range, so I don't have to aim or worry about, okay, I have to hit him very accurately. You just blast him, get the kill, and he ends up giving the node because he gets greedy. He thinks he can fight it out with a power weapon, which really doesn't work to his advantage. So I watch him over here, and I see him kind of hop across the top, and I know that I've already done a good amount of damage to 7. So I come down here, and I wait for a second to see if he's up there. He doesn't pop up. So I say, what the heck? I go for it. I get the capture, which is really good for me, and he's still not coming across the top. So from here, I go and I see him capture this, so I try to catch him off guard and shoot him. I do a little bit of damage there. I don't lead because he's stunned a little bit too long. So ultimately, I'm just left to try to do some damage here. He comes to chase me, and I end up losing out on this battle, I believe. I miss him a few times, and he gets Warmonger turrets again. So I'm running around trying to stay free, and he's doing the same thing. So I drop these little Thunder Smacks. Ideally, it's just a way for me to try to do a little extra damage up to him here and there. And I get hit with a rocket here very shortly, I think. Which is kind of sucks, but... So I go back to my base in order to kind of just basically send a few troops. The idea here is to send the waves a little spread out so that it's going to buy me a little bit of extra time during the assault phase. And the reason that's important isn't necessarily because I want to go and get some squad defenses and all that, but since I have such a significant advantage right now on nodes, the longer that assault phase lasts, the more bolts I'll be able to accrue over time, since the phases aren't necessarily timed for assault phase. So the idea there is just to kind of give myself a bigger bolt advantage as cheaply as possible. And those demolition troops are, they're fairly cheap to buy. I know he doesn't have a lot of defenses at this point, and I don't want to just feed him bolts. So I don't send a lot of them because I feel like he can still take him out. He's got power weapons and other things. So the idea is just to extend it just enough where I can get an extra, maybe 400 or 500 bolts, which, I mean, in the grand scheme, could be the difference in the match. So here, I take this out really quickly, and now I know that I've got all of these kind of cleaned out to my advantage, and I can just wait a little bit for this phase to end. So I go to see what's going on, and he's actually taking those guys out. So he decides to chase me, and I see him come out of there. So I drop a few doppelbangers here just to discourage him a little bit. And he takes a few shots there as he chases me around, and I don't have to worry about these guys. So I throw that down just in case he's chasing, but he's not, so I don't have to worry about it. Build up my ammo, and I'm just going to camp out here and, wait in this area a little bit so I can just capture this very easily. So I know he's back at his base because he just got done killing all those troops. So this is a very easy capture for me to make. So again, I've got a pretty significant advantage here on bolts, on nodes, kills, and everything else. So I don't have to worry too much about what's going on. So I see that he's captured 4. And what I know is if he's going for 4, he's not going to go for 3 or 2, and I doubt he's coming for 7. So I know he's going to go straight for 1. So the plan here is to kind of go up here, and I see these turrets have been wiped out, so I just decide to wait for a little bit. Just so I can, I can catch him right after he captures it. I can go take it right back from him. So I wait for him to jump off on that platform, and I go to capture this right here. So I drop down a few doppelbangers, kind of just to distract the other doppelbangers that he's got littered everywhere in a pretty chaotic and disorganized fashion, and I capture one for free with no consequence. So he only had that for 20 seconds at the most. I I get the kill there, which is really awesome. He captures it, but I don't have to worry about that because I can capture this really easy. So I swap over, get my launchers here, throw down doppelbangers, and game over. So I go capture this. You know, obviously, like I said, no consequence. And I believe at this point he goes finally to capture 7, which he had cleared off long ago and just ignored in favor of 4. So now I can go to 4. I don't have any doppelbangers, so I'm a little struggling here on ammo. That's why it's really important to just keep as much ammo as you can on you at all times. I take more damage than I should here, which puts me in one-hit kill territory. So I have to be very careful with how I confront him. You know, I don't want to get in an encounter that I can't win, obviously. So I capture 4. And I see that he's got, you know, those nodes captured, 7 and 6. And I don't know where he's going next. So he's put a shield up at 6, and I see a shot, so I know he's going to 5, so I figure I can go over there and maybe play it a little risky and see what's going on. He's less than half health, so I kind of just wait it out. I know he's going to go for the capture relatively soon. So he still jumps around, and I basically just end up catching him a little off guard here with a few things. Mr. Zircon's putting shots at him, and he's trying to hit me with his Warmonger turret, but thankfully for me, the Sonic Eruptor is a little bit better on that. So now it's time for me to go and drop some more guys up here. The idea here is just to drop those guys far enough apart to where they can all register shots on the shield. You don't want to drop them so that they're all clustered together, because what ultimately ends up happening there is that they will simply shoot each other and the shots won't register on the turret. So I'm low on health. I decide not to go out for the little skirmish at the bottom there, because I know I'm in one-hit kill territory and he's got a power weapon, so I don't do it. I just go for these, and I basically teleport back for the squad phase. I've got enough nodes here to put me at a pretty significant advantage, so I decide to send a tank and a couple other little troops here. Again, it's just enough to draw out the phases, weaken up his defenses, and keep him occupied. So I upgrade it to an elite tank. What that does is it sustains much more damage. It doesn't necessarily do a lot more damage, but they move at the same speed, which is very slow, so it gives me an advantage here. So I'm able to rush into his base here. He sees me coming and he tries to challenge with a little bit of the Warmonger turrets, or his Warmonger gun, sorry. So my plan here isn't necessarily to duke it out with him, but just to jump around and do little peck damage with my Doppelbanger. So he hits his panic button and kicks me out. And he has no money to send anything, so I don't have to worry about waiting in my base or whatever. I'm just free to go do what I want and jungle up all these little defenses he's got here. So since this is already clean, I just go straight for 7 and again throw these guys out, just do some damage over time. I know that I can use my plasma bomb launcher. There's no pressure here to go fast, so I do a little damage and let the Thunder Smack finish it off, and basically just clear that off free of charge. I try to upgrade, you know, get as much weapon as I can here. I'm looking to get a Thunder Smack so I can protect my back, but ultimately that happens a little bit too late. He comes up upon the back of me and catches me, and I'm pretty much dead here. So I jump up and, you know, the latency kicks in and I get hit with a shot. So I lose some bolts there, but thankfully, you know, he's so far behind on nodes, it doesn't really matter at this point. So I know he's going for 5, and there's really nothing I can do about it. I know that 6 and 7 are cleared. So I wait at my base, trying to kind of see if he's going to just rush out and maybe go for 1 or 4 or where I can see him go. So I don't see him leave through that side. I get a little closer to kind of see his username, and I see him kind of perched up there. He knows I'm coming out of my base, so he waits for me. He goes up the ramp, you know, I check, I see he's not up there, so I see him coming back, and basically I know I'm up, so there's no reason for me to pursue this. All these nodes are clustered together, I don't have anywhere to run, and I'm ahead, so there's no reason for me to kind of jungle around and worry about it. So I see him go for 4, and instantly I know, okay, this is going to be very easy for me to capture. So I go up here and I see he's put all these guns down and all kinds of other crazy business. No reason to fight over all that. So capture 7, and then I can go work on 6 from there. So he's already captured 4. I'm still up 3-4, which is good. I've got the advantage. No reason to rush or do anything hasty. So I take a few extra shots there, which kind of sucks. I'm in one-hit kill territory again. And ideally, just take these guys out. I have a few bad shots here, which works to my disadvantage, but capture 6. And just watching, I see, okay, he's going for 1. So for me, it's a better deal. Let's just rush up. 1's the easy capture here. Get some more ammo. And you can avoid those guys, just jump over them. So 1's always a really easy capture, and if you're in a place where you don't have to worry about doing anything too crazy, just go capture 1. If you can get there quickly, go for it, especially if you're in the lead. So I kill those guys, and I know there's nothing going on, so I can lay a shot here in him, and he's one-hit kill, so that's super easy. Unfortunately, I don't pay attention. My doppelbangers are dead, and I take some damage there that puts me in a really risky spot. So I try to capture this. The idea is to get it before he returns to try to capture that other node again. So I capture 1, and I hear him again. I go to the side. Unfortunately, I don't account for his power weapons, and he just lays some rockets right in my face. So thankfully, though, my doppelbangers and shit that I threw down to destroy his stuff shoot him enough to where he doesn't capture 2. So he just gets to clean it, but I still maintain the pretty big advantage there. So again, buy myself a little extra time here. Jungle. Get some money. This is a stupid thing for me to do, and it's basically habit. I go and get ammo, even though I just died. I'm on full ammo. I do it anyway. So you'll see me go buy all of these Groovatron mines here. Ideally, that's just to buy me time, just in case he sends anything. I don't really think he's going to, but I don't want him to send something like maybe he gets bold and sends a tank, and I don't pay attention to it, and it comes and takes out my base. So drop a few cryo turrets here just to make sure that if he sends anything too drastic, it's going to be an easy fight for me. So sell that, put up a cryo turret, so if a bomber comes through or a demolition guy, I can win fairly one-sidedly. I decided to grab these bolts, and at this point it's just to keep the bolts out of his hands. Obviously he hasn't gone for them, but who knows? Maybe he gets, the ants in his pants and decides he wants some money. And I mean, he could be 500 bolts away from 2 tanks or 3 tanks, and that could be the difference between, him doing some serious damage on my base or not. So I see he spent quite a bit of money here on turrets, so I take those out just to make sure the guys behind me can get through. There's no reason for me to blast through and let my guys die. If I kill those turrets off, my guys are going to get free kills and be able to damage stuff. So I see they've already done enough damage. There's a whole bunch of them going in, and he can't kill them fast enough. And there's a tank. So I decide, let's just wait. So you'll see me spin my camera around from time to time here, and all that does is his name will pop up for a very brief second through walls when I spin the camera around. The only advantage to that is I know where he's at, so I can see if he's on the left side, on the right side, or maybe he's standing right near a corner waiting for me to rush again. But he's only got 1 generator left, tons of enemies, and he can't stop them, so they kill it, and I end up on top winning the game. So it goes my way there fairly well. So you'll see in the breakdown here in a second for the bolts. The bolts I have and everything is pretty much a big advantage, but that all comes from him going for 4 first, which is a longer capture. It doesn't work out. So see, he has a very slight advantage very quickly when he gets 4, 1, 2, and 3, but that leaves and he never gets the advantage back for the rest of the match, and I maintain that. So subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch TV. I broadcast pretty regularly, and I'll be updating some more of these, trying to get Abaro, and hopefully sometime next week I'll have Metropolis as well. And until then, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.